All right, here we go. Welcome back. Brought the character sheet up, but let's go ahead and get back into the action. So we're a couple hours ahead in time now, which would be about the time you guys were talking about meeting back up. We'll say, Greybeard, you've woken up by this time with enough noise that's happening throughout the six windows of all the people that are doing stuff, cleaning going on, all those types of things would have woken you up by now. And let's go ahead and pick up from there. And we'll say the group has met up at the tavern just to get everybody together.
Do we see Zendara? God damn it.
Yeah, you didn't see her initially, but she's come in, and you see that she was coming in. She was going to come here to eat some lunch, and you notice her when she walks in. And we can put everybody down there just to get everybody together. Even Greybeard, you knew where they were going to be just for simplicity. Down at the tavern.
I just marked Zendra in my brain to make sure to not forget, to not let her leave before we talk to her.
Okay, yeah, you see her. She's at a table and she was ordering some food as you guys are gathered at your table. So what is the group's plan?
I figure Finn and I tell them about our adventures with Shendra and the missing ranger.
Okay, Darathra, I believe is her name.
And then
Shendra.
As soon as we're done here, we should go over to the Featherstones, because that's really what we're here for.
Mm-hmm. And I would like to talk to Zendra, who's sitting, and I motion my head to where she's sitting.
Okay, right, yeah, we'll just say you guys give a recap of your conversation with Lord Protector, so everybody knows, has an idea of that conversation. Anything else?
Ardreth was here?
No.
Oh, okay.
I mean, not here in town, yes.
But I'll take Ian over and make sure that she talks to Zendra. Or introduce her again.
Okay. Just leaving the group, or...
Wait, isn't Zendra down here in the tavern with us?
Yes.
Yeah. I think he means just like leaving at this very second. Before we discuss anything.
Oh no, we should discuss everything, I think, right? We should all talk.
Like I said, let's just put just keep an eye on Zendra to make sure she doesn't leave before we speak to her.
Okay.
But yeah, so does anybody else have any business here in town other than going and speaking with the Featherstones?
None.
I do not.
Me either. I've had beer and breakfast, so my business is done.
Priorities.
I would like to get closure on this ranger. And I am a little bit gold light. So if we could find a job here in town from somebody, I'd like to do that. Find a job before we head wherever our next destination will be.
Yes, it would appear that everything is expensive in this town.
Well, let's relieve ourselves of our actual job first, and then maybe we could ask Lady Shendra if she has something else for us.
Agreed.
All right, so speak to Winterbow, go to the Featherstones, and I guess see what Winterbow tells us, and then go from there.
Yep.
All right, sweet. So
All right, so two of you walk over to Zindra, and she's just eating a lunch, and she sees you guys come over. And you did talk to her just the night before, so she recognized you, and you recognize her pretty easily. And she kind of waves, as if to sit at her table as she's chewing on some bread.
Cool.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I sat down.
Absolutely.
I'm gonna stay
Well,
toward the back.
Yeah, she just looks at you expectantly.
I'll look at Ian as well.
Okay. Zindara Winterbow, I presume. Friend of Finn. We were directed to you by the Lord Protector Shendra in reference to a ranger that went missing in Garon's slumber, and an odd disappearance. And I say that as I put down the bow of Grima, and I tell her the tale of the missing ranger.
Okay. And yeah, you remember that this is the person that told you of Garon's slumber last night, which was how you even decided that you might go out there and sleep.
Did she talk to all of us? I thought she only talked to Finn.
She talked to the two of us.
It was the two of you.
Really? Holy shit. Totally forgot.
That's
totally
okay.
forgot.
And
Go ahead.
she looks at the bow and she says, Doritha says this is Grima's bow, and she looks at it and it is a fine bow, and as she takes a look at it and she says, that's odd. She did not come in this morning.
Yes, and I tell her about the tracks and all, and I ask her if she's going to be busy later today, because we have a short bout of business to deal with in town, and if she's free later in the day, if she wouldn't mind following us to the campsite of Grima and see if she can track it. Oh God, if she could track it better than I could.
Yeah, and you can tell she seems a little concerned. It also strikes her as being maybe a little odd, and she kind of finishes up and starts to grab her stuff, and she says, well, I'll just head out there and take a look now. We don't want the tracks to go cold. Do you just want to meet me out there?
Yeah, that sounds good to me. Just be careful. I didn't recognize the track of what dragged her away. Just be very careful. I wouldn't trust anything in that there. But yeah, we will meet you.
The Featherstones are on the way. Can we swing by their house quickly?
Yeah. Are you asking me or Dendra?
I'm asking her.
Oh.
If she doesn't mind.
No, she says we should be on our way. She seems kind of concerned.
All right, yeah, I agree. Let go. I turn to the group.
Yeah, she's grabbing her stuff as if she thinks you were all leaving now.
As do I. I think we've all finished eating. We're all ready to go. Let's head off.
Okay. So just to check in, the whole group is heading out?
Yeah, I'll follow.
Yep, sounds good.
All right.
And
So
I'll mumble under my breath of, yeah, maybe we should have started this a couple hours ago.
And everybody hears it, even though it's just under your breath.
Oh, I said it loud enough for Finn and Ian to hear.
All right. So yeah, you
we
guys
can
kind of
finish
tromp
it.
through town again, and it's back up towards, again, the 6 windows which you've been near. You're kind of heading towards this building here. Zindra Winterbow is with you.
Hold on, which building? I was zoomed out.
The one just
Oh,
south
okay.
of six
The
windows.
6 windows.
Okay.
And as you guys come up the road and you're kind of leading into the path that leads to the house, you see a whole bunch of kids out playing around. A couple of them out in the front. There's a gentleman that's out in the field, obviously doing some type of farming of some sort. And you hear noises in the house as you walk up.
I got really scared there when you said you see a bunch of kids, and I'm like, oh, please don't tell me it's a bunch of dead kids. Don't tell me just a bunch of bad shit happened while we were over there.
No,
Got really scared there.
no, that's much later.
Well, your mind went dark fast there, didn't it?
Well, just the way he set it up, I was like, oh, this is either going to be really good or really bad.
Who's got the money?
I do. I have the money in the letter.
Okay, so
I
where are
guess
you
we
going?
good.
approach. I guess we approach.
Yep. So you see there's a gentleman out in the back field. He doesn't notice you guys, and then you hear noises from within the house, and there are children playing out in the front.
We
I'll go knock on the door.
Yeah.
Door's actually open, and as you kind of step up to it, the kids kind of watch you go. They have some type of like a hoop that they're rolling around, and they've got sticks, and they're laughing and carrying on as they're rolling it around with each other. And through the door, you can see a woman who just appears to be doing some cleaning. And when you knock, she kind of turns and is wiping her hands off on her apron and is walking towards the door. And kind of cautiously, as there's this group of 6 armored people standing in her front yard, and she kind of waves the kids, back into the house, not knowing who you are.
We bring you greetings, Lady Featherstone.
And she kind of looks at you funny and says, I'm sorry, Lord, but I am no lady. And she bows deeply to you. Obviously, the peasants bow.
I don't know. Would she be some sort of named something now because of Daphne? Is that how royalty works? Does she get moved up in the world now too?
She's got a rich relative. That's how it works.
Yeah, you can buy a title, but currently probably no title at the moment.
All right.
You could tell they are probably what is very common, which would be like a peasant farm. So they probably work this farm for a rich landowner. Not only do they get to live here, but they get paid for the work that they're doing. But they're probably tenants more than they are owners of this land. And that's a pretty common thing here.
I'll say, we bring word from your daughter, Daphne Featherstone, from Nightstone. And I fish out the letter, and I hand it. That's really deep in my pack. It's hidden in a specific place, along with the gold. And I don't grab the gold just yet, but I do give her the letter.
Okay.
And I say, I think this is. I believe you should read this with your husband, Mr. Featherstone. And maybe sit down. Also, I think that might be a good idea. Maybe have some water nearby.
Okay, so she yells to one of the children who's in the other room, and she kind of says, "Will, go get your father." And Will goes racing out the back door and heads into the field. And then just a few minutes later, a man comes in, obviously dressed in farmer's clothes and work clothes, has just put down some type of tools, hands are dirty from working out in the field, and sees you, and also kind of a concerned look. Obviously, they don't get a lot of visitors like that look like you guys. And he sits down at the table, and they actually he can read, so he begins to read the note, and it takes him a little bit. And
let's reassure him that it's not bad news.
Yeah. And I am holding the gold pouch now in my hand as they started reading and stuff like that.
Okay. And yeah, so he reads through it, and it's a slower. It's not something he does commonly, but he has learned to read and write. And then he looks at it kind of with a a kind of a little bit of a shocked look, and you hear him explain to his wife, Florencia, that in the letter they're being at that they should pack their stuff up and move down to Nightstone, and you can see they're having a little bit of a discussion about what they should do, because now they have this letter, and you've just set this big amount of money on the table. And also there are other relatives that are near this town but not necessarily in town, and you hear them talking about, well, now we have to go tell, and they just start naming off various relatives that live in the area also.
I suggest that you take that money, hire some guards to take you to Nightstone immediately.
Yeah, and they look at you, and they definitely, they are in a minor shock, and they're like, yes, thank you very much, and we will definitely listen to your advice, and we'll hire a carriage and head to Nightstone as soon as we can. And he starts talking about how he has to talk to the landowner, and they'll have to shut things up, and then they'll have to go ahead and get their stuff gathered together, and they just kind of start planning. And they offer you water, but they don't have much else to offer you. And they thank you for delivering this from such a long way, and they're just kind of a little flabbergasted.
Because we're on a time crunch, I try and wrap this up quickly, and I'm like, just send our regards to Lady Featherstone of Nightstone. That's a weird thing to say.
Yeah, and they even think it's weird to say, because they're like Daphne is now Lady Featherstone, and the Featherstones have never had a lord or lady in the family, so it's definitely a change.
I say you should be very proud of her. She has done a wonderful job of taking care of Nightstone as of now. And I just reiterate what Finn said. And I look at the group sort of like, can we wrap this up? Can we leave? Because I'm also anxious to go.
Let us take our leave.
Yeah, they seem to be anxious to get. They have some things they need to do too, and they have to go talk to the other family members, and now they're gonna have to talk to other people. So but they definitely make sure they thank you. They don't want to seem like they're running you off, or they're not appreciative of what you've done. To bring something that's weeks away from a whole different area, that's a pretty good thing in their eyes. So, and they go about their business, and you guys can go ahead and move back to the woods at this point then.
Did you give them the money?
The gold? Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Who do you think I am, Greybeard?
Could have offered us an ale at least. Water.
And we are off.
All right, so you'll meet up right about here in the clearing is where the tracks would have been. And Ian, you can go ahead and make another survival check, but you can do it with advantage because you're going to have help from Zindra. So it's two people are rolling, and you'll get advantage to pick up these tracks.
An 18, which is one better than last time, I believe.
Okay. Yeah. And it is evening time, and now you're looking for something. It's there, and you do pick up some tracks. Again, they're tracks you don't recognize, but you can tell they're leading off. They were apparently something tried to hide them, and they did a really good job of it, which is why you had trouble last night. But now that you're looking for it, you're having help, you're both picking up little things here and there. You can tell that somebody tried to hide their tracks, but now you've kind of picked up which way they went. And as you follow the tracks, you see there's a little road back here, and then the tracks hit the road, and it kind of heads down the road. And it's obvious that something went that way. And Zindra's like, yeah, it seems odd that she would have left all her stuff here. I'm thinking something must not be right. And she
I
says,
asked-
"Oh, go ahead."
I was just gonna ask, where does the road lead to? Do you know?
There are many trails that lead off into the, just different areas. There's more ranches out that way. There's, hills and such out to the west of town, but nothing specific
Okay.
that she can think of. Like, there's no other landmarks she can think of that road specifically leads to. If you follow it long enough, you'll eventually come across more ranches, horse ranches. And then she kind of says, well, I'll go back and I will mention, I will go talk to Darathra and let her know that we definitely found something, and then that she might want to have the 12 investigate, unless you're going to continue following the tracks.
I look at the group. What would you guys prefer to do here?
I think we should go talk to Darathra.
I would agree with that. How about the rest of you?
I can go along with that.
I have no feelings one way or the other.
Whatever gets us through the day.
That's depressing. Then sure, let's go talk to Shendra. So you can give us any sort of guidance. And I make sure to take another good look at these tracks. When I see them again, that I'm able to recognize them before we head back off.
Okay.
And off we go.
And you got no idea what it is that made the track.
It was not humanoid.
It's booted feet,
Oh shit.
but you don't think they're human tracks.
No, they're larger than human tracks. If I remember correctly.
Yeah, they would be not like enormously large, but they are definitely larger than your boot marks.
So I've got nature and survival. Can I try?
Sure.
Okay. Which one would I? What would I? roll against?
Whenever you're doing any tracking, it would be with survival. Yeah, no, you're not.
No?
You're not able to recognize anything different.
All right. Let's see what Shendra is going to offer us.
Yeah, so as you were brought back into her office area again, and she gives you a look and a nod, and she kind of smiles and says, "Well, I don't think I have enough chairs for everyone, but I assume that if all of you are here, there's something I can help you with," she says.
Is Indar not going to take point on this one?
Zindra has suggested that we come and speak to you, or at least perhaps inform you that the 12 may either have a mission, or perhaps you would like us to take it and search for that missing ranger.
Yeah, she actually, and the one thing that's different is you come in the office, she has a rolled out map that shows kind of the area a little bit, and she was looking over it as you guys had walked in, and she says, "So you did find something. There is something amiss in the woods then."
Yes,
It would appear.
We saw tracks now with the daylight that led to the road and took the road west from Garon's lumber.
She says, and then she kind of points down at the map, and she says, "Well, the 12 are currently up at the northern ranches. We had a couple days ago, we had a message that said a couple hill giants were near the area. So I sent the 12 up there to make sure all the ranchers up there were fine. I won't expect them back for another day or two. Are you willing to follow the tracks?" And she kind of looks at you, Finn, pointedly.
I think this group would be willing to follow those tracks. They would definitely appreciate some form of compensation, however, to help them through the day for food and time.
She says, yeah, you're going to be hot on those tracks. It happened last night. You should be able to catch up to whatever it was fairly quickly. I'm willing to give out a day's wages to see if you can find out and bring the ranger back safely.
Well, it's better than nothing.
Yeah, how much are a day? And I asked Finn this. I'm like, how much are a day's wages in human?
I have
Human
no
pounds.
idea. I just figured we should ask, otherwise Greybeard would complain.
Like, I'm down.
Nice one.
Yeah, you're
And,
like a day of just would basically cover like your meals for the day. So, and maybe even a night in a room. So like you're thinking like a night stay would be a silver, and then 3 different meals be another 3 silver. So she's like willing to give you guys like 5 silver to go and see if this ranger's okay.
Yeah, I just suggest we make our way as soon as possible. Would Zindra join us?
Zindra will not be joining you. She has a caravan that she's going to be guiding.
I'm taking a really good look at this map on the that Shendra has on the table.
Okay.
I'm committing as much of it to memory. I have a good memory for the stuff, so
Yeah, I believe you can kind of go to the bottom right-hand corner of the map. And it's kind of like that bottom corner. It's a map that looks very similar to that.
okay. And I commit as much to it to memory in character
Yeah.
my character.
And when she had pointed at it to say the 12 had ridden off, there at Westfarl Ranch was where they were heading to check and make sure that the sighted hill giants hadn't actually done anything to the ranches that are out that way. And then they should be back in 2 days.
Okay. I'm okay with 5 silver. Ian's okay with 5 silver.
Okay.
Let's roll.
Sounds good.
There you go. Let's see.
Yeah, she doles it out and says, hopes that you're able to find the ranger and bring her back safely, and hopefully nothing's amiss, but it's good that you're going to go and check.
All right.
And so we'll just put you up near that campsite again. And we don't have necessarily a second map for this, but you follow the tracks and they head down that road a little ways, and you notice that there's a few hills here and there, and it's all wooded as you keep going. And the tracks eventually leave that road, and they go kind of the north side of the road. You're able to follow them, even though it's still clear whatever it was is trying to hide the fact that it has passed through here, but you know what you're looking for, so you're not having too much trouble. And eventually you come to, in one of these hills to the north of the road, you see a cave opening.
Nothing says fun like a cave.
And you're
opening.
probably, maybe 30 to 40 yards out. When you see it, you recognize it as being an opening in the hill.
Can I take a second? All right, well, it's not a second, it's a minute. Can I take a minute, and I guess cast, God, what is it called? Primeval awareness, to see if I can sense if there's a human nearby?
Sure. So, yep, primary. So,
That's not how I open it. There's a way to open these, right? There we go. No, not that one.
Must be a different part you have listed.
There we go. Second one.
Favorite enemy,
I
right?
can attune. Yep, so I can attune my senses, determine if any of my favorite enemies lurk by spending an uninterrupted minute of concentration. I can sense
Yeah,
any of
so
my
you're still within several miles of town, so obviously you're picking up tons of people in town. But that is all you're picking up at the moment.
no humans in this direction.
Nope. None that are nearby.
So I stand up from convening with nature, and I tell the group that there are no
Yeah, and everybody
that
has
there's
seen
no human presence.
Yeah.
That
Everybody's
there's
at
no
the same point.
presence within 5 miles of me, except the town. So our ranger is not either dead or not in that cave. She's farther out.
Does that make a difference between elf and human, or half elf?
No, it's just humanoid. My favorite enemy is a humanoid.
Okay.
Right then, Greybeard cracks his neck, and then he's like, "Well, better go search." That starts stumping off towards the cave.
I'm gonna follow him up, and I'm gonna say, "Well, looks like our god lives in a cave. Let's go."
Yeah, and you are starting to move up to the cave, and out from the cave walks what appears to be about a 10-foot human,
Oh, good.
and
good.
who completely matches the description of Garen.
Oh, good. Good. Great.
And then let's all roll a... let's do this. We're not going to really need a map, I don't think.
10-foot tall human.
10-foot tall human.
Yeah.
That's about 12 graybeards.
He's on stilts.
He has a slight aura about him. He is correctly proportioned to be a human, but he's obviously large.
Enormous.
And he does match, for those of you, there's a couple of you, well, anybody that wants to make a religion check. Already Finn and Ian would know the description of Garen Windstrom, and this person matches that description.
I'm sort of standing there,
I
sort of
can't
like with
figure
my
it
jaw
out.
slightly agape.
Yeah, Ardreth, you haven't heard of the
I can't even
description
see
of
the
him?
10-foot creature.
Greybeard, you've heard of at least this person before, and it does match, the descriptions you've heard before. Anybody else that wishes to make a roll?
Oh, what kind of roll? Religion roll?
Religion.
Yeah. I look over to Finn, and I'm like, "Is that? That's
Can't be a god on this plane. That makes no sense.
well, he's an extract, isn't he? He's like
Yeah, Jarrel, you also have heard a description of this god before, and that person does appear to be very similar to that description.
I mean, the townspeople have said that some of them have seen them. I mean, is it that preposterous? I mean, you're a man of the gods. And
Striding out of a cave.
I don't know. I'm just like flabbergasted.
I'm
that this is
promptly
happening.
suspicious.
Yeah, and as he comes out of the cave, that's when he does notice all of you. And he pauses, and he looks at you suspiciously also. And then stands with his back to the cave entrance. And we're going to go ahead and roll initiative. So let me bring up the initiative marker. Nope, wrong one.
Giants, dragons, gods, bring them on.
Right?
Are you a god? Okay, turn orders
Oh,
up.
I took it. There I am. We're not in the forest, right?
You're in the
No.
forest.
Oh shit! Sweet. I have. What is it? I guess I can just roll it again. I have advantage on initiative rolls. Sweet. That's way better. Oh, that's cool. It automatically updates. Is that new? Did you write it in that quickly?
What's that?
Oh, I guess that's new. That initiative just updated by itself after I rolled it again.
Oh,
That's
you
new,
rolled
right?
twice and it put it in? I didn't change it.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Oh.
Okay. All right. Let's do descending order. Ardreth. Apparently Garon is staring at you. You're staring at Garon. Oh, I think I spelled it wrong. Let me try that again. I think it's A-E-R-O-N, not E-A. But you're up. What would you like to do here? Starting us off. He's looking at you and you're looking at him.
So, bow's out, and I will get an arrow and notch it. And I will question Garon. Actually, I don't know it's Garon. So I will yell, "Hail, tall one."
And he says, "Is this how you address a god?"
This is how I address a 10-foot humanoid. This is how I make friends and influence people, by the way.
Okay. All right, is that what you're trying to do?
No. But that is what I say to him.
All right.
Charming.
Yeah, he has a very wary look in his eyes and speaks no further to you.
Okay. I will hold my action, the arrow notched, but not drawn back.
Okay.
And if he makes a move to attack, then I'll loose an arrow.
Okay. So holding action, that will bring us to coffee.
Holding action.
Okay, and what's your trigger?
If anything hostile happens,
Okay.
I will blade song.
Awesome. Ian?
Fuck. How the fuck do
You
you
do
address
what?
something you think is a god? How do you address a god that you think is a god? And
I'd recommend
be Ian at the same
insolence
time.
like I used.
I'm also Ian, so this has to be interesting. I say, what is your name? Person.
And he looks to you and he notices your clothes. And he says, "You know my name, young one."
We are looking for a ranger who went missing in the forest. And I put an emphasis on the forest. Would you have any guidance to help tracking her? If you are who you say you are.
I would recommend that you do not track her any further. She's on a mission.
A mission without her weapon?
Do not question the gods, young one.
that's all the time we have to talk.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
And I just stand there. I'm not openly hostile. I hold no action.
Okay. Jarrel, your 6 seconds of actions and bonus actions and possible things.
It's curious that a god would be cornered at a cave entrance by mortals.
Yes, it would be curious.
You must have fallen on hard times to be slumming it with us.
And he kind of looks at all of you and says, "It seems you've not learned your manners upon this world."
Where is your hospitality? Why don't you invite us into your cave?
And yeah, he does not answer you.
And that's all I got. I'm going to hold my action in case there's conflict.
Okay, so the trigger is...
Conflict starts. Then I'll attack.
Okay. Attack, like punch something that gets near you, or what's the trigger here?
Yeah. Something that approaches me, yeah.
Okay. Garon is up, and he disappears.
Oh, good. Good. Great.
Greybeard, you were up.
10.
All right then. If he's if he just vanishes, I'm like, well, guess nobody's home. We better go see what he's got. And I start walking towards the cave.
Okay. Yeah, in the round, unless you're going to dash, you could probably get up right about to just before the entrance. If you're going to, just full speed run, you could probably make it into the darkness, but you're not quite seeing what's, there. You just see an opening at this point.
No, he's gone. Obviously, whatever's there's mine. So I'm gonna go get it.
Okay. But a normal walk is what I'm assuming.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah. So you are getting to the entrance, and you can see that it goes a little ways in. It is some darkness in there, and your eyes will adjust as you get into the darkness, and you'll be able to see further down it looks like just a tunnel into the hill. Pretty big, not shaped in any way. It looks like more of a natural opening than it does like, it's not carved in stone or, pillars or anything like that. And that brings us to any bonus actions or any other things you would do besides your move action.
No, I'm good.
Okay. And Finn.
All right. I don't want to bring it up right off the bat, but can I make a perception check to see if he was telling the truth?
You can do an insight check for the conversation that was happening. Yeah, you don't pick up anything one way or the other. Nothing is leaning your thoughts on this one way or the other on it.
That is true. I'll follow Greybeard forward.
Okay, yep, so you'll be able to get right about the same spot he's at. So you both are kind of right near the entrance in your 6-second turn.
He's a half elf.
All right, Ardreth's up. You see Greybeard and Finn have moved forward to the entrance. The Garon has disappeared, just blinked out.
I'm gonna head after Greybeard then.
Okay, at a run or a normal pace.
I'm gonna walk.
Okay, so
Keep my bow out and drawn, just waiting for something to happen.
yeah, you get to the cave entrance at the same time. Then,
Okay.
or you catch up to him.
Yeah, I was
Coffee-
gonna say I don't need to run to catch up with Greybeard.
No.
Mosey.
I cast Detect Magic.
Okay. Go ahead and put it in chat. I need to see what the range is. Okay, so currently there's no presence within 30 feet of you except anything that you would be holding that's magical. Who's still back there? Anything Ian is holding? Anything Jarrel would be holding? Greybeard, Finn, and Ardreth are forward more than 30 feet, so you're not picking anything up from them.
Alright, I'll start walking forward.
I have nothing magical.
And I'm waiting for Greybeard's backpack to light up. Or his butt.
There is
Wherever that
glow
pixie
coming
dust is.
from Greybeard's backpack.
Probably a lot of them.
Well, whoever's
We don't know
carrying,
this codpiece.
yeah, there. A couple of you have a couple items, so those are glowing on you guys. But
Potions won't glow, right?
I think potions do glow.
Okay, then. I have one potion that might be glowing.
Okay.
I have like a bag or a satchel that glows.
Yeah. Well, actually, there are two. You guys ended up having 2 bags of holding.
Right, Ardreth has the other one. Last I knew, anyway.
Yeah. So that's the other. Not that you can see those, but you're getting a glow from the 2 people that are holding those.
Okay.
And Ian probably still has arrows left, I would think.
Yeah, I
So-
pretty much have all.
So
of
you
them
have
still.
some from her quiver. But nothing else yet. And then as you move up to the entrance, you're not picking anything up within 30 feet of that entrance. Anything else?
Nope.
All right, Ian.
Can I go up to where he was standing? Or like close to it if I don't absolutely have to be right next to it? And look at his tracks where he was standing? To see if they
Yeah.
match those that I
Yeah, you
saw.
So you head over to right where he was, which is right at the front of the cave, and then go ahead and give us a survival check. Yeah, you see his tracks appear to have moved off to the east of the entrance. He didn't go back into the entrance. He moved to the east of the entrance.
Do they match the ones that I saw
Yeah.
at... Oh, good. Oh, good. Oh, fuck. And I tell whoever's near me, I just say it aloud, that these are the same tracks that I saw outside taking Grim.
Okay. So that's your movement and action.
Is that my full movement?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. And yeah, that's... Do I have... No, I don't have anything cool for my bonus action. That's my turn.
Okay. Jarl, so up at the front of the cave is Finn, Greybeard, Ian now, who's just said she sees tracks, gave you her information. Ardreth is up there, and Coffee is up there. I guess you're the only one not.
All right. We're not on another map, right? We're still on the town map.
Yeah, we're just we didn't have a map
Okay,
for it. We're
okay.
just kind of doing it in our minds here.
No, that's cool. Yeah, I'm gonna kind of take a look outside the cave entrance, just kind of see if I can see anything that, just to make sure nothing's gonna.
Well, you could use regular movement to get to the entrance, and that would be your regular move. And then you could use an action to search at that point, which would be your normal action, if that's what you're talking about. Or if you're going to try to move further than that, you would have to do a dash. So yeah, you got your passive perception is happening. If you're going to do an actual search, that takes time.
Yeah, that would be my action.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm going to kind of back toward the cave entrance.
Okay.
And just kind of survey the area around just to make sure that nothing's coming up on, just to see if I see anything. And I'm 30 feet from the cave entrance, you said?
Yeah, you're about your movement from it. It was probably 30 to 40 feet.
Okay, are they in the entrance or are they?
They're all standing right at the front of it.
Okay, so my movement's 40 feet, so I'm just going to catch up to them and look around outside.
Okay.
Perception.
So glad we're all grouping up.
Yeah, you're not
pretty little ball.
You're not seeing anything out of place. With you see everybody that's there. That's all you're picking up. Everything looks normal. It's some woods around. It's a hill. You're not even hearing any noises that are out of the ordinary besides regular, woods noises. Nothing coming from the cave that you can perceive.
Okay.
All right. And then from the east, exactly the way the tracks point.
Grenade.
Fireball.
You see the guy kind of blip out of being, just appear, and he's about he's probably about 40 feet to the east of the entrance, and his hands are thrust forward.
Good.
And you see
inside or outside?
Outside the cave.
Okay.
You all are now looking to your right as you see him appear, and a blast of cold air erupts from his hands.
I mean, close enough.
And everybody that's right there at the entrance at this point needs to make a Constitution saving throw.
Oh, good. Those are so good.
Had to do it after my turn.
Or not.
Is that a saving throw?
Or not.
It was a throw.
Oh.
It didn't save me from anything.
Ardreth.
Finn and I are now frozen together.
Y'all have great constitution,
Oh,
guys.
baby.
One of us does.
I'm +5. Oh,
How did a dwarf fail a Constitution check?
that's what I said. I'm +5. I was counting my gold before it was hatched. And
Yeah.
like, huh?
Do I have any advantages because I'm in the forest? Ignore. No. Oh, good. This is gonna go great, guys.
All right. All right. So if you failed, you will take 26 cold damage.
Holy crap.
If
Hey,
you
does that
made
count
the
as a
save,
violent
you
action,
take
by the way?
half. Say that again?
Does that count as a violent action, by the way, that we can shoot back at him?
It does now, yeah.
There you go.
And he rolled crappy on
Well, the problem was that you held your turn. He went invisible
Yeah,
and then
no,
popped out of, So you will be able to get to act, but... and so, so if you made your roll, which it looks like Jarrel Because you needed to roll a 14 or higher, I believe.
Fuck.
No, 13 or higher. So if you rolled a 13 or
higher,
higher, you take half of that damage. And then he moves back another 30 feet from you, so he is now 70 feet from you to the east. After that attack.
What? Can you repeat what you said when you gave us the description of him? That he had an aura about him when he came out?
Yeah, he had a slight aura about him. He was about 10 feet-ish tall, and he matches the description of Garon Windstrom.
That we got from other people.
Yeah,
Like
that you
from
that you throughout your travels and just of knowing the god Garon, he kind of matches that description you heard.
Okay. Thank you. Fuck.
And Greybeard would be up. You have your beard is full of icicles and ice currently. And you're standing at the cave entrance.
And you said he's like 70 feet away?
Yeah, he's about 70 feet to the east of the cave entrance now from you.
Well, I'm going to go get his stuff. So Greybeard, gives him a big dwarven physical insult, like, I don't know, like basically kind of flipping him the bird, and then I go in his cave.
Okay. The cave entrance, your eyes begin to adjust, and it's a single tunnel, and it appears to go. How far in do you go? Just your movement?
25.
Yeah, it appears to continue. You're 25 feet into the cave, and it appears like it continues straight into the cave. It feels like it's going north into this hill, and it seems to be kind of like a natural opening. But you don't see anything else at this point.
All right, I can't fight him at range, so.
Okay. Do you want to hold your action, trigger something?
Yeah, if anything, jumps me or whatever, it gets.
You'll hit it first.
Chopped.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Finn, you're up.
I too will step into the cave and strongly urge everyone to get into the cave behind us. And I will. I'm going to cast Bless.
Okay.
And I will cast it on myself, Greybeard, and Ian.
All right, let's put everybody together real quick. We'll just put a counter on them. So that was for... You said yourself?
Yep. Ian and Greybeard.
Ian... All right. Any... Oh, okay, Bless is your action, so any bonus action or... And do you go in as far as Greybeard has gone in, or just inside the cave so you're not in line of sight of the...
I'd like to be inside the cave, not in line of sight.
Okay.
And I'll have my shield out for my holy symbol while I'm casting.
Yeah, so you're probably 5 feet into the cave. You can see Greybeard another 20 feet up the cave, still moving like he's moving into the cave. You cast your spell, And all right, we're up to Ardreth.
I'm going to go about 10 feet into the cave and then cast Cure Wounds on myself using one of my second level slots, which should give me an extra die 8. So it should be 2 die 8 plus my spellcaster's
Awesome. Give us a roll.
modifier. All right. So how would you do 2 die 8?
On your spellcasting,
Yeah, I was there.
if you have it as a spell, it'll roll it for you, or you can type in /roll 2d8 plus whatever the number is.
I clicked it and it didn't cast it. It just brought it up. My spellcasting ability is 5. Nope, that wasn't the right command.
You could just use the die roller.
Oh, that's all right.
The one we always forget exists.
All right. There's...
So 8 plus 5.
All right,
so
yep, you gain
13.
that back.
Okay.
You were also about 10 feet in. You're about 10 feet from Greybeard. You're just a couple feet from Finn, who's inside the cave. And that would be your action and movement. Bonus actions.
Bonus actions. I will. Oh, man. Where is it when you need it? I will do Bardic Inspiration on my... Well, actually, who's outside still? Is Ian outside still?
Ian, Jarrel, and
Jarrel.
Coffee, I believe.
And does Coffee have a bow? Or a ranged weapon?
I'm a spellcaster.
He is
I
a
got
ranged
Firebolt.
Okay, I will go on Coffee. I'll actually cast Bardic Inspiration on him.
Oh, okay. So Coffee, you get Bardic Inspiration.
What's that, dude?
There you go. So basically, you get an extra 1 die 6 when you need it.
Okay.
I'll put a counter on you until you use it. I think you can decide when you're going to use it too.
Yep.
In the
That's
next
better,
10
that's better than my
minutes.
bless.
Any ability or saving roll over the next 10 minutes.
Okay.
All right. You are now up, Coffee.
How far away is he?
He is currently 70 feet away.
I will Blade Song.
Is that action or bonus action?
It's bonus.
Okay, so bonus action Blade Song is up. Let me get that ready.
Did Ardreth go into the cave?
Yeah, I did about 10 feet in.
Okay. Everybody in there so far? Except for Ian and Jarrel?
Yeah.
Correct.
Alright. I will go into the cave.
Okay.
Out
How-
of
how
line of
far?
sight. How far in is that?
Once you're within, even 5 to 10 feet, you're out of sight. Greybeard is probably 25 feet in.
Okay, I'm gonna go in, get 3/4 cover, and send a magic missile his way.
Okay. So it should just be damage roll, right?
10.
So nobody's attacked him up to this point, right? This is the first attack on him?
Yeah.
Yeah, most of us are trying not to die.
I had some choice words for him.
I taunted him.
I'm just wondering if the cold blast was a warning.
Okay.
A warning that almost kills you is a little overboard of a warning.
So you see the magic missile hit him in the chest. It does not seem to do too much to him, but it did strike. And so you did Blade Song, you cast, you moved, so that should be your turn, correct?
Yep.
All right. That brings us to Ian. You're still outside of the cave with Jarrel at this point.
I cast Hunter's Mark on him.
Okay. Hunter's Mark is on.
Oh,
Can you cast and shoot?
yeah. Yeah. I mean, fuck it, right? If we're gonna die, we're gonna die. And he's not a favorite enemy, right?
He is not humanoid.
And he has taken damage, right?
Yes.
Alright, so it's this one. Hunter's Mark, Colossal Slayer, and fuck me. And I hit him, well, I try and hit him.
Okay.
Place on it. It'll pop up. It will.
I trust you.
promise.
It's going to come any minute.
23.
Yep, that'd be a hit. So an arrow flies true, hits in his shoulder.
Yep, and that's with one of the good arrows with the +1.
Okay.
Was what I was going to say before I remembered how my rolls usually go. Come on, 10. So that's 10 plus 1.
So 11.
Don't forget you've got bless running on you too, so you get another 1d4 to your attack roll.
Shit. That's right. That's 1d4. That's not a recognized command.
Is it to the?
Roll.
Does it do it to damage or just the attack?
No, just the attack roll.
Okay.
Oh, just the
Or
attack roll
or a
before.
saving throw, which would have been great had it been running.
Before.
You got blasted.
Or,
We didn't.
nor whatever it's gonna pop up eventually. Oh man, I rolled a 4 too. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
you definitely hits a shoulder. Arrow sinks in. He gives out a grunt.
that's so 11, and I fuck. I run into the cave. And if there's anything to hide behind, I hide behind it.
Just other players.
Finn's shield. I was gonna say.
Definitely Finn.
Yeah, right.
You cower behind Greybeard or in front of him.
Never. I would never do that in front of a dwarf.
Dwarf.
A dwarf.
All right,
So I get
Oh, go
I get
ahead.
in a position where I'm not clumped up or in a row with anybody else.
That's gonna be hard to do. You were definitely
try
all
my
in a
hardest.
line.
I
the cave.
try as hard as I can.
Okay. You definitely try hard.
And that's-
Jarrel,
that's my
you
turn.
begin to look around, and you are the only one standing on the outside of the cave. It is your turn.
So the cave entrance, it's like just the start of a tube, right?
Yeah, it seems like a natural cave opening that leads north into the hill. It seems to go for a ways, but you're not sure how far.
Can I gauge his demeanor?
He currently has a grimace on his face. He's been hit by a magic missile, and he has an arrow that just hit him in his shoulder that he's slowly starting to reach up to pull the arrow out. That's about as much as you're reading off him so far.
So pissed off.
God. No. I'm thinking of just kind of staying there and trying to talk him down, but not if he's got an arrow sticking out of his shoulder. I mean, we're all pretty much bunched up in there, right?
Um, all within probably 30 feet of each other, probably standing in a sort of a line, but not necessarily like huddled together as a small group. But you
And how
do
wide
get the
is the-
distinct impression with the way you've seen attacks happen that it seems to be dangerous.
How wide is the cave?
Probably about 10 feet.
Oh my god.
Give or take, maybe. I mean, it's not like a perfect stone corridor. It's natural, so it's, you know, certain parts are a little skinnier, certain parts are a little bit more wide open, you know, but it might vary anywhere from 10 to 15 as it goes, but pretty narrow.
So we're stuck in a funnel. Oh my
It's
lord.
half full. The glass is half full, not half empty, Jarrel.
Glass is half frozen. I mean, part of me just wants to run outside the cave to distract them. I think that's what I'm gonna do. Because it just makes no sense for us to just bunch up in a cave that's got 10 feet wide. I mean, he's just gonna slaughter us. So, I'm gonna run outside the cave. So the cave is north, and he's east of the cave.
Correct.
I'm gonna move out southwest with my movement. And I will hold my action. Actually, no, I'm not. I'm gonna dodge. So I'll move out 30 feet southwest and dodge in case he attacks.
Okay. All right, he is up. So let us take our second break, and we will come back and we will continue our group taking on the god Garen and see how this happens, what happens here. So stay tuned. We got plenty more to go. I'll put the character screens up real quick, and then we'll be back in about 5 minutes.